We're here in beautiful Santa Clara, California for the Global Blockchain Forum. I'm Michael Bisping here with TimiHealth and the TimiHealth Advisory Board. Happy to be here. Woo!
And went out to Berlin, we went out to Davos, Switzerland, World Economic Forum. That was fantastic. I saw a lot of things happening in the health world, and blockchain. And I mean, we're here. I'd love for you to tell our CoinTelegraph audience a little bit more about your company and how are you taking the healthcare industry and disrupting that with blockchain. Okay. So if you mind introducing yourself to our audience.
Right. Hey guys, Will Lowe, co-founder and managing director at TimiCoin.
Michael Bisping, former UFC middleweight champion of the world, and I'm now here with TimiCoin, TimiHealth today.
Gentlemen, thank you for joining us. We really
Thanks, Steve. Appreciate you having me here.
You have hundreds of thousands of CoinTelegraph listeners, viewers, audience. What's the one thing you want them to know right off the bat about TimiCoin?
It's time to disrupt, man. It's time to disrupt the status quo in health records. We're literally giving you, the patient, back control of your health information. If you think about it, I mean, we were at HIMSS in Las Vegas a few weeks ago, which is, of course, the big, health conference there, and that's kind of like the Super Bowl of healthcare. But what all they were talking about in that system was doing a better job with health records. Well, doing a better job should mean giving patients back control of that health information. We're always talking about it is your data, you should control it, and that is the mantra of our company and the technology we're developing.
Okay. Now, how, as a user, if I want to get in control of my data, how do I engage? Are you gamifying the system in a sense?
We are gamifying the system in a sense where, an EMR and an HIE, which is the cornerstones of technology. So we're not just making a catchy little app where, you have your records on there. We are creating an ecosystem that could be the next highway, the next generation of electronic medical records. And we think that just a few weeks ago, I mean, there was major ransomware attacks inside of healthcare. We saw a big ransomware attack in the city of Atlanta a few weeks ago. So if you think about this continual issue with ransomware, a secure blockchain allows that to stop. And literally, again, if you think about the interoperability problem that happens today in healthcare, that we believe with our blockchain. And remember, we're not using somebody else's blockchain. We've created our own, and we're not trying to leverage another ecosystem. We're trying to create our own.
Okay. Is there a cryptocurrency component involved?
Of course, there is a cryptocurrency component, and we've been very diligent with that process, where we're not going to launch the cryptocurrency until we have the entire ecosystem live. Our blockchain. We obviously think we have something because we've had many. If you Google TimiCoin, you're going to see that we have some industry heavyweights inside of healthcare coming on board.
You can speak about right now?
Yeah, sure. Terry Thomas, she was the former number 2 at Epic, and Epic is a huge EMR company. She came on board with us. Joyce Lignell, who is going to be our CEO, she is running the show behind the scenes, and she is a who's who of health IT. And then of course we have some other individuals coming on board on different components that serve different components inside of the healthcare space, so for us to leverage the technology and then of course accelerate the scale.
Okay. Now for the audience, for the everyday user, I'm going to talk about how Timi will affect 3 different people. I'd like to know how it's going to affect me as a person.
Sure.
Right? How is it going to affect me as an investor?
Well, obviously, my background, Will there basically said a lot of very impressive stuff. I'm not an expert in cryptocurrencies or blockchains or anything like that. But for me, I'm pretty much retired now. But I travel the world a lot. I'm very lucky. I'm in the acting world these days, and I'm all over the place. If I get sick on the other side of the world and I have an illness that's mysterious, how do I get hold of my medical records? It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a very long time consuming ordeal to get hold of that information. With TimiCoin, this is what immediately attracted me to this. Obviously, you have the app in your phone, and you have access to your medical records at all times. And the fact that you don't have that in this modern day and age totally blows my mind. So that was instantly what attracted me to this.
Okay. Now, how would the end user the hospital, the doctor.
Sure.
How does he need to be on the blockchain to receive that information?
Okay, so once again, the users on the chain, once they're given permissions, okay, so that permission, going into that node, so that end user is given a permission, just like, and so they're connecting inside of that node, and so that doctor is given a permission to access that patient's information.
And that's not a heavy onboarding process. For the
No,
doctors.
sir. No, sir. No, sir. Once they authenticate themselves into the node and they're given permission by the owner of the data, that's where the permissions. And then again, if you're traveling, just say for instance, there's an instant use case for the travel industry. If you're on a cruise ship and you don't have your information, and you can just say for instance, turn on that notification for that end user, and then turn that permission back off.
So is there, and I may be jumping ahead a little.
Wallets, I mean, that's I'm not the developer on that side, right? But I have a group of cryptographers. I have a group of industry heavyweights on that side, on that space, and obviously that is a concern of ours because of the fact that it's health information. So obviously we're concerned with that. That's an ongoing development cycle situation. But I feel like with our chain that we have, and we're going to publish here in a few weeks, that I think we have, what could be an industry standard where we could license that technology across healthcare.
Do you see not only your generation, but future generations growing up on TimiCoin and how they are engaged?
Thank you, Steve, for having us.
Yeah,
and
that about sums it up.
Stay tuned for the launch. TimiCoin hitting the exchanges as well as the TimiHealth platform.
All right. Thank you for joining us at CoinTelegraph.
Pleasure.
Take it easy.
Thank you. Nicely done.
Pleasure. Oh, yeah. Moving shit.